request everyone to please be seated now. Innovation begins with a question. AI answers with possibilities. And intellectual property ensures that the world remembers it. And also remembers who dared to ask that question. In this age of AI, innovation is our imagination made real. And intellectual property is the promise that every idea is worth protecting. Shri Ramakrishnan, VP Engineering, Qualcomm, California, USA. Shri IP Mishra Sir, Chairman of Shri Gangajali Education Society, Bhilai. Shri Nitin Sharma, Senior Director Technology and Patent Counsel, Qualcomm. Madam G. Kirti, Program Manager at Association, IPFC. Shri Nishant Tripathi, Secretary, Shri Gangajali Education Society. Dr. M.R. Khan, Principal, Government Engineering College, Raipur. Dr. Alok Kumar Jain, Principal, SSIPMT, Raipur. Esteemed dignitaries from across the nation and beyond, learned delegates, invited guests, and our vibrant community of students and innovators. A warm and a very distinguished morning to one and all. Sri Shankaracharya Institute of Professional Management and Technology, Raipur, with immense pleasure and pride, presents before you Exposition, a prestigious technical discourse and a confluence of intellect and innovation. Ladies and gentlemen, we today stand in the crossroads of technological evolution, where artificial intelligence, innovation, and intellectual property are not just themes, but they are forces shaping the future of humanity. I am Pratin Chatterjee, Assistant Registrar of SSIPMT Raipur, and on behalf of SSIPMT family, I am delighted to cordially welcome one and all present here to Exposition 2025. Ladies and gentlemen, today we embark on a journey exploring the bridge between academia and industry, between the dreams we nurture on this campus and the professional landscapes we build in the corporate life. This is a space where insights will spark inspiration and shared experiences will pave the way for all those preparing to take that leap. So as we gather here today to celebrate this very event of innovation and collaboration, it's only fitting that we begin with a tradition that holds a deep meaning in our culture, the lighting of the ceremonial lamp. It is a timeless symbol of clarity, knowledge, and auspicious beginnings. May its glow guide us with our thoughts, elevate our aspirations, and illuminate the path of discovery that we embark upon today. With this, I would now take the honor of inviting all our respected dignitaries and guests to light the pious lamp and officially inaugurate Exposition 2025. Sirs, please. I would now request our esteemed guests to kindly take their places in the dais space. Ladies and gentlemen, it's not every day that we are graced by the presence of such distinguished minds, visionaries who have shaped industries, inspired institutions, and continue to lead with a purpose. We consider ourselves very lucky, and as a gesture of our heartfelt appreciation and respect, we will proceed with the presentation of floral greetings to the esteemed guests for today. For doing the honors, may I first request Mr. Nishant Tripathi, who is the Secretary, Sri Gangajal Education Society, to present a floral bouquet to Sri Ram Krishnan, VP Engineering at Qualcomm. Can we have a round of applause for sir, please? Next, I humbly request Dr. Alok Jain, who is Principal of SSIPMT Raipur, to offer floral greeting to Sri I.P. Mishra sir, Chairman of Sri Gangajal Education Society. Can we have a round of applause, please? Next, I request Dr. Hemlata Sinha, who is the Head of Department of Electronics and Telecommunications Engineering, if she is present here, or Dr. Shapna Sharma will do the honors, and she will present the floral bouquet to Madam G. Kirti, who is the Program Manager at ASSOCHEM, IVFC. Oh, she is not here? Achha, she is also not here. No problem. So now, I would request Dr. Naveen Jain, who is the member of governing body at SSIPMT Raipur, to present a floral bouquet to Sri Nitin Sharma, who is the Senior Director of Qualcomm. Can we have a round of applause, please? May I now request Dr. Dhiren Singh Chatri, Head of Department of Applied Physics, to present a bouquet to Mr. Nishant Tripathi, who is the Chairman of Sri Gangajal Education Society, Secretary of Sri Gangajal Education Society. Next, I request Dr. Rudra Pratap Singh Chauhan, who is the HOD of Artificial Intelligence and Machine Learning Department, to present a floral welcome to Dr. M.R. Khan, who is the Principal of GEC. I would now request Dr. Abhishek Badulia, who is the HOD of the Department of Data Science, to offer floral welcome to Mr. Hirdesh Singhal, who is the CEO of Avashyatech and our Strategic and Academic Advisor. Since Madam Kirti is here, I would request Madam Hemlata Sinha, who is the HOD of Electronics and Telecommunications Engineering, to welcome Madam G. Kirti. Warm round of applause, please. I would again like to thank all the people who have come from across the continent to grace this occasion. Thank you so much, everyone who's here for today. It's often said that innovation is the currency of the future and communication is its lifeline. In a world driven by ideas, connectivity, and intellectual capital, the ability to innovate and protect that innovation is what defines progress. Ladies and gentlemen, today is a proud moment for all of us at SSIPMT Raipur as we welcome some of the brightest minds in technology and research to our campus. And it is with great honor that I take this opportunity to introduce our institution in front of this esteemed gathering. Sri Shankaracharya Institute of Professional Management Technology, SSIPMT Raipur, was founded on a date that is just as memorable as its journey. The date was 888, which is 8th of August 2008. And in just over a decade, the institute has emerged as a beacon of excellence, crossing milestones with purpose and contributing meaningfully to the vision of self-reliant, innovation-driven India. At SSIPMT, we instill in our students a very defining trait, which is hunger. hunger to learn, to grow, and to achieve more each day. This very drive fuels their academic success, industry readiness, and the entrepreneurial spirit within them. Ladies and gentlemen, we have built a comprehensive ecosystem that nurtures every possible aspect of a student's professional development, from technical proficiency to soft skills to innovation and to intellectual property awareness. Some of our niche proud distinctions include hosting India's first crystallized, I would repeat that, it is the first crystallized AICT Idea Lab and one of the only 49 which was sanctioned in the first place. We have accreditations by regulatory bodies like NAC, NBA, and we also have ISO certifications, strategic MOUs with leading industry giants to bridge the academia and industry gap. We proudly boast a growing portfolio of numerous patents, publications, and startups. A vibrant Toastmasters International Club nurturing confident communicators, and a thriving culture of innovation, collaboration, and excellence, which is at the backbone of everything. So SIPMT Raipur is not just an institution, it's a launch pad for future innovators, communicators, and change makers. So today's gathering, ladies and gentlemen, brings together a remarkable constellation of thought leaders, innovators, and industry experts, each poised to share invaluable insights on the evolving landscape of technology, communication, and intellectual property. But before we dive into the day's discourse, let us begin on a formal and a thoughtful note. And it is my privilege to invite a distinguished academician and an institutional pillar, Dr. Naveen Jain, who is a member of governing body, president of IISc, and coordinator of IQAC, and professor in the Department of Mechanical Engineering at SIPMT Raipur, to welcome the guest and deliver his welcome address. Sir, please.
Thank you, Prateen. Good afternoon, one and all present here. It is with immense pride and heartfelt warmth that I welcome you all to this landmark exposition on wireless communication, artificial intelligence, innovation and intellectual property rights, hosted by Sri Shankaracharya Institute of Professional Management and Technology, Raipur. We are deeply honored to host this confluence of visionary minds and pioneering institutions. Your presence today reaffirms our shared commitment to advancing technical education through innovation, collaboration, and purpose-driven inquiry. I extend a special and respectful welcome to Shri Ramakrishnan, Vice President of Engineering, Qualcomm, California, who is a global innovator and whose presence bridges continents and inspires our students to think beyond boundaries. Shri I.P. Mishra sir, Chairman, Shri Gangajali Education Society, Bhilai, whose unwavering leadership continues to inspire our institutional journey. Shri Nitin Sharma ji, Senior Director, Technology and Patent Council, Qualcomm, a thought leader at the intersection of technology and IPR, whose insights will enrich today's discourse. Madam G. Kirti, Program Manager, Associate Chambers of Commerce and Industry of India, whose work in promoting intellectual property awareness and innovation is truly commendable. Dr. M.R. Khan, Principal GEC Raipur, and also respected representative from the Directorate of Technical Education Raipur, whose continued guidance has been instrumental in strengthening the innovation landscape across technical institutions in Chhattisgarh. Mr. Nishant Tripathi, Chairman, Board of Governors, and also Secretary SGS Bhilai, whose strategic leadership and unwavering support continue to guide SSIPMT's journeys toward excellence and innovation. Shri Hridesh Kumar Singhal, CEO, Seer Academy Private Limited, a champion of industry-academia collaboration, driving innovation in technical education nationwide. I also extend a warm welcome to the principals, professors, faculties, researchers, and representatives from institutions including IITs, IIITs, NITs, and GECs, and other esteemed institutions whose collaboration and presence today add immense value to this gathering, and also to our faculty members, researchers, and students. Your enthusiasm and commitment are the lifeblood of this academic celebration. Ladies and gentlemen, at SSIPMT Raipur, we firmly believe that innovation is not confined to labs or lectures. It is a living, breathing culture in our institute. Our NAC A+ accreditation, NB accreditation, prominent NIRF innovation rankings, Nodal Center for IIT Roorkee Virtual Lab Mission, and certifications under ISO 9001 and 14001 reflect our dedication to quality and continuous improvement. Our multidisciplinary innovation ecosystem, anchored by the Idea Lab and also with Institutions Innovation Council, which empowers our students and faculty to co-create solutions that are not only technologically sound but socially impactful. From L2 Pro certified innovators to nation-level hackathon winners, our community continues to push the boundaries of what's possible. A shining example of this spirit is our engagement with the Qualcomm L2 Pro certification program. Upon learning about this initiative, our students and faculty responded with remarkable enthusiasm, achieving 1,100 certifications in a record time, a number that has now grown to more than 2,100 plus. Ladies and gentlemen, let's have a big round of applause for this achievement. But it should not go unnoticed here that this achievement was duly noted by Sri Ramakrishnan sir, whose encouraging call laid the foundation for today's exposition. Sir, L2 Pro now, it's a part of regular curriculum of SSIPMT. Sir, we are deeply grateful for your acknowledgement and for taking time to visit us on your maiden voyage to Chhattisgarh. Your presence today is not only an honor, but a beacon, sure to enlighten the path of electronics and semiconductor innovation, not only for SSIPMT Raipur, but also for our state. With some of the best technical minds and notable names in education gathered here, we eagerly await your insights on how we can collectively pursue the big dream of positioning Chhattisgarh as a leader in electronics and semiconductor innovation. This exposition is a celebration of that spirit. It is a platform to exchange ideas, explore emerging technologies, and envision the future of technical education. Let us use this opportunity to learn from one another, to question boldly, and to collaborate meaningfully. Once again, I welcome you all to SSIPMT Raipur. May this day be filled with insight, inspiration, and innovation. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir, for your impactful words. Ladies and gentlemen, it's a rare privilege for me to introduce a personality whose name resonates with vision, leadership, and an unwavering commitment to education excellence, Shri IP Mishra, who is the chairman of Shri Gangajal Education Society of India. I would like to give a brief introduction of sir. He is a pioneer technocrat, a revered educationist, and popularly known as the Bhishma Pitama of education in Chhattisgarh. Under his stewardship, Shri Gangajali Education Society has flourished into a hub of innovation, integrity, and impact, where values meet vision and learning meets leadership. And it is with deep respect and immense pride that I now invite Shri IP Mishra sir to the stage to share his thoughts and, as usual, inspire us with his words. Please, sir. Can we have a round of applause for IP Mishra sir, please?
क्या है जी सब्जेक्ट? आज के इस रंगारंग कार्यक्रम में ये जो अभी नई शिक्षा नीति आई है ना, इसके हिसाब से हम लोगों को हिंदी में बोलना है. रामकृष्ण साहब, आई एम सॉरी बट आई एम हैप्पी इज अ वलर संतोषम लिंगल मलयालम आइडिया ஞான मलयालम संसार. तो आज के इस कार्यक्रम में हमारे बीच में मुख्य अतिथि के रूप में उपस्थित श्री रामकृष्ण जी एवं श्री नितिन शर्मा जी और हमारे अपने ही डॉक्टर इमाल खान जी, जिनसे हम लोगों का पिछले 40 साल से संबंध है। 40 साल तो नहीं हुआ, 35 साल तो जरूर पक्का हो गया। और ये हमारी बेटी कीर्ति और वो पटेल साहब हैं, अच्छा हिदेश टंडन जी, और सामने बैठे हुए सभी हमारे वो फैकल्टी के मेंबर और हमारा वो निशांत कहाँ चला गया, तो निशांत जी वो सेक्रेटरी भी हैं और ये हमारे बारे में बहुत सारी बातें इन्होंने बताया। वंदे विदेहतनया पदपुंडरीकम् अकैशोर सौरव समाहित योग चित्तम किहंतुम चितापमनिषं मुनिहंस सेव्यम और सन्मानशाली परवीत पराग पुंजम दुर्वादकं दुर्तनु तरुणार्जनेत्रम् अहेमां वरंबर विभूषण भूषितांगम कि कंदर्पकोटि कमनीय किशोर मूर्तिम अपूर्तं भुवामि भज जानकीशं गंगा तरंग रमणीय जटा कलापम अगौरी निरंतर विभूषित वामभागम कि नारायण प्रियं मदं मदापहारम् अवाराणसी पुरपतिं भज विश्वनाथम्। At the outset, I express my sincere gratitude to you all for giving me an opportunity to address this gala function. I, as the head of the fraternity, Shankaracharya Group, I am privileged, I am happy, and I feel proud to welcome Mr. Ramakrishna ji, Mr. Nitin ji, and Mr. Imal Khan, who is our, I feel he is our family member, and all other guests who are here in the dais and also off the dais. Abhi, there has been lot of discussion about the intellectual property, about AI, about information technology, about the software engineering and all that. People who are of the 20-21 years age, they feel that the India has taken the birth 21 years back only. This is not the situation. The India has taken birth long back. When there was a census in 1927, our population was 31 crores. When we got the independence in 1947, we were less than 50 crores. And when we got the real working, that is, जब हमारा संविधान चालू हुआ 1950 में, तब हम 50 करोड़ थे और हमारी पंचवर्षीय योजनाओं में बहुत सारे बड़े बड़े मैन्युफैक्चरिंग कंपनीज लाइक भिलाई स्टील प्लांट, लाइक राउरकेला, दुर्गापुर स्टील प्लांट, then your tank, Bhankra Nagar, Hirakund, and so many, some big manufacturing things were done and people were getting abroad. And the population of the world was also very less. Do you know what is the situation today? We are 150 crores and the world has got the population of 825 crores. But the shape of the earth is same. भारत की जो जगह है उतनी ही है, बल्कि जो आप लोग जानते होंगे रेवा खंडे भारत खंडे आसवन द्वीपे है ना, तो अब उतना भी नहीं रह गया जितना उस समय था। आज बहुत कम हो गया है। हमारी टेक्नोलॉजी भी पहले बहुत थी, आज बहुत कम हो गई है। अब समस्या हमारे सामने एक खड़ी हो गई कि वो थेरेसा की तो इलेक्ट्रिकल पढ़ रहे हैं बहुत पहले से, वो ड्राइंग जो है अपनी मैकेनिकल इंजीनियरिंग की ड्राइंग भी वही पढ़ रहे हैं नहीं, और जो या अप्लाइड मैकेनिक्स है वो भी वही पढ़ रहे हैं, एंड एवरीथिंग इज सेम। पर सवाल ये है कि जो हमने आज हिंदुस्तान में जो अपना गौरव हासिल किया कि हम नंबर 1 हो गए हैं दुनिया में पॉपुलेशन में, तो इसको किया क्या जाए? क्योंकि ज़मीन वही है, काम वही है। पहले तो क्या होता था कि 58 ईयर्स तक आदमी नौकरी कहीं गवर्नमेंट का पा जाता था, और जो हमारा मैकाले सिस्टम ने बना दिया था वही एजुकेशन सिस्टम चल रहा था, और उसी में हम लोग बड़े आराम से हो रहे। किसी से पूछो 1972 में कि आपका लड़का क्या कर रहा, तो बोले हमारे लड़के ने टाइपिंग सीख लिया है, अब स्टेनोग्राफी भी सीख रहा है, अब इसके बाद जो है उसको एक नौकरी मिल गई है कलेक्ट्रेट ऑफिस में। हमारे यहाँ एक टीचर थे इंजीनियरिंग कॉलेज में जो कि हु गॉट अपॉइंटेड एज ए लेक्चरर एंड ही रिटायर्ड एज ए प्रोफेसर, बट ही हैज़ नेवर टेकन क्लास, और उसने 58 ईयर्स पूरा अपना बिता दिया। शायद उनको मालूम भी होगा, अग्रवाल साहब थे हमारे यहाँ, डी अग्रवाल जी। तो ये सिचुएशन थी। तो पहले हम लोग बढ़े एग्रीकल्चर को, फिर हम बढ़े इंडस्ट्रियलाइजेशन को, देन वी वेंट फॉर द टेक्नोलॉजी, एंड इफ यू ऑल रिमेंबर, many of you would not take the birth in those days, but those who took the birth somewhere in 1970, they remember that when Sam Petroda introduced the electronic and telecommunication in 1984, there was a lot of hue and cry that हमारा तो पूरा नौकरी ही ख़त्म हो जाएगा, ये इलेक्ट्रॉनिक कहाँ से चालू हो गया। हमारे यहाँ बड़े मुश्किल से भिलाई स्टील प्लांट में एक कंप्यूटर लाया गया जो इस बिल्डिंग का करीब 1/3 उसकी वो थी वॉल्यूम, दैट कंप्यूटर वाज दैट। अब उस पर उसी से हमारा वो पे स्लिप निकलता, तो वहाँ तक हम गए हैं। तब लोग बोलते थे कि इलेक्ट्रॉनिक आ जाएगा, कंप्यूटर आ जाएगा, नौकरी चली जाएगी, कोई काम नहीं रहेगा आदमियों, है ना। अब सभी लोग जानते हैं, और काफ़ी हड़ताल भी हुई इन दिनों। आप लोगों में से कोई आदमी उस समय जन्मा नहीं था, इसलिए आपको आइडिया नहीं है। हमको ये लगता है कि भारत आज का ही है, और यही है, खेतों से निकेत बनते हैं, फिर निकेत से बनते खेत, ये साकेत रहे न रहें पर हमारा, ये निकेत रहें या न रहें पर अमर हमारा हो साकेत, ये हमारी भावना है। हमारी भावना क्या है कि जो हम लोगों ने इसको चालू किया, क्यों चालू किया कि परहित सरिस धर्म नहीं भाई, अब पर पीड़ा सम नहीं अघमाई। हमारा उद्देश्य क्या है? ज्ञानादेव तु कैवल्य, उसका मतलब है कि ज्ञान से ही मोक्ष प्राप्त होता है। मनुष्य का अल्टीमेट एम क्या है? मोक्ष। तो हम मोक्ष प्राप्त करने के लिए इसको चालू किए। आप देखिए, यदि कोई आदमी आज मुझे पोस्ट कार्ड दिखा दे, कोई आदमी इंग्लैंड दिखा दे या लिफाफा दिखा दे, तो मैं उसको इनाम देने के लिए तैयार हूँ। वो जो राम जिसने टाइपिंग करके नौकरी पाया था कलेक्ट्रेट ऑफिस में, वो टाइप राइटर आप दिखा दो तो मैं बता दूँ। तो दीज टेक्नोलॉजीज वेंट ऑन, ये बढ़ी, तो जितना ही बढ़ी उतनी उनमें कुछ बुराइयां भी शामिल हुई। ऐसा नहीं है कि बढ़ती गई तो बहुत अच्छा होगा, सबके अंत होते हैं। जैसे इफ़ यू रिमेंबर इन त्रेता एंड द्वापर, हम लोगों के यहाँ हमारे भारत में जो ट्रांसप्लांट हुआ करता था, आजकल तो लोग लीवर ट्रांसप्लांट करते हैं तो भी नहीं जीवित रहते हैं, किडनी ट्रांसप्लांट करते हैं बड़े मुश्किल से वो होता है। लेकिन उस समय लोग आदमी के खोपड़ी में मतलब बकरे का खोपड़ी लगा दिया, ट्रांसप्लांट कर दिया। माने यू कैन इमेजिन व्हाट वाज द साइंस इन दोज डेज, दैट वाज द सिचुएशन, नॉट टुडे दैट इट हैज डेवलप्ड। तो ये चीज़ें समय के हिसाब से और ज़रूरत के हिसाब से डेवलपमेंट होता है और लोगों को लगता है। जैसे आप देखिए, क्या किसी ने नहीं देखा होगा कि फल गिर रहा है पेड़ से? लेकिन न्यूटन ने देखा कि फल गिर रहा है। तो कोई एक ही आदमी ऐसा होगा। क्या दशरथ जी को 60,000 वर्ष तक ये नहीं पता चल पाया कि मुझे बच्चा नहीं है? कि एक बार भूपति मन माहि त्रेता युग माही, अभय गलानि मोरे सुत नाही। तो क्या ये पहली बार ऐसा हुआ? एक बार हुआ? क्या एक ही बार फिर पेड़ गिरा, पत्ता हुए, ये गिरा फल? नहीं, उस आदमी के खोपड़ी में आया कि ये फल गिरा है। तो ऐसे लोग रेयर होते हैं एंड दोज पीपल दे इन्वेस्टिगेट द थिंग्स और उसको इनोवेशन करके आगे उन चीज़ों को चलते हैं। तो व्हेन वी वर्क विद द ब्रेन स्टॉर्मिंग और हम लोग एक दूसरे से डिस्कशन करते हैं, तब पता चलता है कि इसके ये होगा। अब जैसे आप देखिए, ये ज़रूरी नहीं है कि आप सॉफ्टवेयर इंजीनियरिंग में ही काम करिए, ये ज़रूरी नहीं कि आप इंफॉर्मेशन टेक्नोलॉजी में ही काम करिए या हैकाथॉन में ही काम करिए या आइडिया लैब में ही काम करिए। आप किसी भी क्षेत्र में काम करिए। वो एक सरदार जी थे, देखिए जो है, क्षमा करिएगा, एक गाना गाया, ताता तारा, क्या था वो, तारा तारा। ये गाने में ही उसने पूरा कमा लिया, कोई ज़रूरत नहीं पड़ी और कुछ करने। दूसरा, आप रामकिशन साहब, वो आप उनके वो उसका दामाद नहीं था, क्या नाम था, जो कोला बेरी गाया, क्या नाम था उसका? अब एक ही गाना गाया नहीं, धनुष भाई एक ही गाना गाया और दूसरा कभी सुना नहीं। हमने तो नहीं सुना, आप लोगों ने सुना होगा तो सुना, उसी में उसका काम हो गया। एक लड़की है वो प्रिया, वो बायां आँख मारती है ऐसा, उसी में पूरा फैल गया। तो आज का ज़माना पूरा सोशल मीडिया का है। आप जिस आदमी को चाहो तो आप उसको बहुत बड़ा बना दो और जिसको चाहो उसको उठा के गिरा दो, है ना। जैसे पहले वो करते थे तुम्हारे जादूगर सरकार जी, नहीं, सरकार करते थे ना कि बकरी को वो मुर्गा बनाते थे, मुर्गा को बकरी बना देते थे, फिर आदमी खड़ा कर देते। तो आजकल एआई में ये सिचुएशन हो गया। तो दिस इज़ द सिचुएशन विच इज़ प्रिवेलिंग टुडे। इसलिए इन सब चीज़ों को हमको करने की आवश्यकता है। क्यों? क्योंकि हमारे पास इतना काम नहीं है कि सारा काम, सारी नौकरी गवर्नमेंट दे सके। तो कहाँ करने की ज़रूरत है? वी हैव टू थिंक ऑफ समथिंग। हम नौकरी देने की कोशिश, लेने की कोशिश न करें, बल्कि हम नौकरी देने की कोशिश करें। हमारी ऐसी सिचुएशन होना चाहिए कि वी शुड गेट द पीपल एम्प्लॉयड, नॉट दैट वी शुड ट्राई फॉर द एम्प्लॉयमेंट। दैट इज़ द आइडिया बिहाइंड ऑल दिस थिंग, कि हम इन सब अलग अलग से जो काम करेंगे उससे लोगों को हम नौकरी देंगे। और जब हम अपनी इंटेलेक्चुअल प्रॉपर्टी को अपने को सेव कर लेंगे, पेटेंट कर लेंगे, तो उसको दूसरा आदमी नहीं ले पाएगा। जैसे देखिए, क्षमा करिएगा, लोग बोलते हैं फलाने के यहाँ बम है। वो एक आदमी नहीं है, वो कोरिया वाला, जब हंसता है तो पूरी कंट्री हंसती है, रोता है तो पूरी कंट्री रोती है। क्या नाम है? जिंग जांग है। अब वो पता नहीं क्या है उसके पास, भगवान जाने, लेकिन वो धमकी देता है कि हमारे पास वो है एटम बम, है ना, ये ना तो उसी से वो झटके मारे हुए हैं। छोटा सा आदमी है, हाइट और उसकी चौड़ाई और लंबाई दोनों बराबर, लेकिन फिर भी वो चल रहा है। नहीं, तो ये सिचुएशन आज पूरे दुनिया में चल रही है। हम लोगों को बहुत सतर्क होने की ज़रूरत है। क्यों? क्योंकि ये जो इंटेलेक्चुअलिटी है, जो प्रतिभा है, ये सिर्फ भारत में है, दूसरी जगह नहीं है। ऐसे प्रतिभावान लोग दूसरी जगह नहीं पाए जाएंगे, इसी जगह पाए जाएंगे। इसीलिए हमारे ऋषियों और मुनियों ने गाया भी है कि गायन्ति देवा किल गीत गानी, कि धन्यासि ते भारत भूमि भागो। ये भारत की धरती है जहाँ पे हमें ऐसे इंटेलेक्चुअल मिल रहे हैं, और उसमें भी कैसे हैं। यदि आप देखो तो मोह निशा सब शोभनी हारा। तुलसीदास जी लिखते हैं कि मोह निशा सब शोभन हारा। इस संसार में सब लोग सो रहे हैं। गीता में भी कहा गया है कि ये सब लोग सो रहे हैं, तो इनको जगाने का काम कौन कर रहा है? बोले जग जानन जन जागत जोगी। जो जोगी लोग जो है, संयमी लोग हैं, वो जगाने का काम कर रहे हैं। इसी तरीके से जितने इंटेलेक्चुअल लोग हैं सब जगह, वो सब इस समय सो रहे हैं, पर जगाने का काम कौन कर रहा है? शंकराचार्य फ्रेटर्निटी कर रही है आपको सबको जगाने का काम, कि अब जागो। क्योंकि 7 करोड़, 7 से 8 करोड़ लोग ऑलरेडी हमारे यहाँ से चले गए, और हमारे यहाँ बाकी जो बचे हैं उनको मैं 150 गिन रहा हूँ। उसमें से वो 7 करोड़ वो लोग नहीं हैं जो बाहर हैं। तो इसलिए आवश्यकता इस बात की है कि हम जागें और हम कोई ऐसा काम करें, ऐसा इनोवेशन करें, ऐसी कोई चीज़ करें जिसमें से हम लोगों को एम्प्लॉयमेंट दे सकें, और सिर्फ सरकार के एम्प्लॉयमेंट के भरोसे हम न रह पाएँ। दैट इज़ द आइडिया बिहाइंड इट। और वही काम हमारा शंकराचार्य रायपुर इस काम को बड़े बाखूबी कर रहा है। काफ़ी अच्छा इन लोगों ने काम किया। बहुत सारी हैं, बच्चे भी अच्छे आ रहे हैं, वो कर रहे हैं। हमारे साथ तो 40 साल रहेंगे, इसके बाद तो आपको करना है। लेकिन एक बात को ध्यान देना है, वो बहुत ज़रूरी है। आज लड़ाई सिर्फ 2 बात की है, रोटी कपड़ा और मकान, और दूसरी चीज़ है करुणा भावना एवं प्रेम। तो हम रोटी कपड़ा मकान की ओर दौड़ रहे हैं, लेकिन करुणा भावना और प्रेम से पीछे हट रहे हैं। कोई आदमी जो है अपने माँ बाप को उस तरीके से प्रणाम नहीं कर रहा है जैसा करता होगा। पहले ज़माने में जब आदमी काम करके घर आता था तो रामकृष्ण जी, तो महिलाएं कहाँ करते, अरे आ गए मेरे प्राण प्रिया आ गए। और आजकल क्या बोलते हैं, अरे रामकृष्ण तुम अभी आए हो कि हैं? क्या दिस इज द सिचुएशन विच इज चेंजिंग, और यही सिचुएशन बच्चों में भी चेंज हो रही है। तो उसको अपने को कायम रखना है, क्योंकि उसी से हमारे भारत का नाम पूरे दुनिया में है, और उसी से लोग घबराते भी हैं कि भारत के पास ये प्रॉपर्टी है, ये इंटेलेक्चुअलिटी है, और इसमें हम लोग जो है आगे बढ़ रहे हैं। तो आप आए हैं, आपका हृदय से अभिनंदन, स्वागत और वंदन करते हैं अपने अतिथि महोदय जी। और ये इसकी कमी है, तो इस कमी को भी हम लोगों को ध्यान में रखने की ज़रूरत है। क्योंकि हम दूसरे से क्यों अलग हैं? ये अलग हैं कि देखिए, आप कितना भी कोशिश करिए, इंटेलेक्चुअल प्रॉपर्टी ले लीजिए, जितनी भी प्रॉपर्टी ले लीजिए, गूगल ले लीजिए, वो जितने हैं तुम्हारे टेस्ट ले लो, ये ले लो, कुछ भी कर लो, लेकिन देखो खाना तो अपने को हाथ से ही खाना पड़ेगा कि नहीं। रोटी तो उससे आप नहीं डाउनलोड कर सकते, कैन यू? नो। तो इसलिए हम लोगों को इन चीज़ों को बहुत हिसाब से देखने की ज़रूरत है। और हमारा उद्देश्य है कि हम ऐसे इंजीनियर पैदा करें जो कि सिर्फ इंजीनियर भर न हो बल्कि एक भारतीय इंजीनियर और भारत के प्रति उनका प्रेम रहे और हमारी संस्कृति, हमारी भावनाओं, हमारी परंपराओं, हमारी मर्यादाओं पर भी ध्यान दिया जाए, ये हमारा उद्देश्य है। इन्हीं भावनाओं के साथ पुनः मैं सभी अतिथियों का हृदय से स्वागत करते हुए आप लोगों का बहुत बहुत अभिनंदन और प्रणाम करते हुए हमारे ये आ गए हैं गुरपाल सिंह जी और सभी का अभिनंदन करते हुए वाणी को विराम देता हूँ। धन्यवाद।
सर धन्यवाद एक छोटा सा शब्द है, लेकिन मैं फिर से तहे दिल से सर का धन्यवाद करना चाहता हूँ। थैंक यू सो मच सर। योर वर्ड्स, योर sentences, your alphabets, each and every part of what you say continuously inspires us. And your unwavering vision, your leadership continues to be the cornerstone of our institution's growth. We are truly grateful for the path that you have paved for the generations to come.
हम फरवरी में भिलाई में एक ज्ञान सभा आयोजित कर रहे हैं, उसमें सभी लोगों को बुलाया जाएगा। आप लोग भाग कर लीजिएगा, 1.5 दिन का रहेगा वो।
So moving on, ladies and gentlemen, it's my profound privilege to introduce a dynamic professional whose work in the field of IP rights has empowered countless startups, MSMEs and academic institutions to take their first confident steps into the world of innovation. Madam G. Kirti, she serves as Program Manager at ASSOCHAM IPFC, where she plays a pivotal role in nurturing India's innovation ecosystem. Her efforts have enabled institutions and entrepreneurs to understand, navigate and leverage the power of intellectual property, and today we are fortunate to have her share her insights with her. So ladies and gentlemen, please give a round of applause for Madam G. Kirti as I invite her to the stage.
Thank you, sir, for your kind introduction. Good afternoon, everyone. Respected dignitaries on the stage, faculty members and students, I wish you all a pleasant afternoon today. I am here to inform you all about ASSOCHAM, the IPR activities we do at our organization. ASSOCHAM stands for the Associated Chambers of Commerce and Industry of India, and we proudly are going to enter into 105th year of establishment this year. We act as a conduit between the industry and the government to inform about important policy decisions, capacity building, and create awareness about various government schemes as well as industrial problems. At ASSOCHAM, we have established the Intellectual Property Facilitation Center in association with the Ministry of MSME. We have 2 centers, one in Delhi and one in Bangalore, with the threefold objective of policy advocacy, capacity building, and holding startups, MSMEs, individual innovators, incubation centers, as well as academic institutions. With the various flagship programs such as ASSOCHAM IP Bootcamp, we have reached out to more than 150 educational institutions in the country and helped them start with their IP policy, as well as have assisted them in various IP filings. At ASSOCHAM IPFC, we also provide various services such as IP filings, commercialization, technology transfer, and also assist the people in need whoever come to us. At ASSOCHAM IPFC, we also have our National IPR Council, which is led by distinguished IP experts from industry as well as the legal fraternity. Under their eminent guidance, we have conducted several programs, majorly which include the IP Leadership Conference, which provides a platform for people from all aspects, like in the industry, the legal fraternity, and academic institutions, to reach a point and discuss and deliberate constructively about the various important things that are necessary to inculcate the IP culture in our country. And I would also like to bring it to your notice that at SSIPMT IP Bootcamp, we also facilitate meetings with IP experts. So whoever individuals or academic institutions or incubation centers reach out to us, we help them on a pro bono basis to reach out to IP experts and assist in their IP filings. With this, I would like to conclude, and I would like to thank the team for giving me this opportunity today. It was indeed a great interaction and a wonderful being part of it today. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much for championing innovation across the sectors, across various sectors in India. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we move into the heart of today's exposition, a deep dive into the world of innovation, intellectual property, and technological leadership. It is my privilege to introduce a distinguished expert whose work sits at the interaction of law, engineering, and innovation, Shri Nitin Sharma, Senior Director Technology and Patent Counsel at Qualcomm. With a career dedicated to shaping IP strategy and guiding technological advancements, Nitin sir has been instrumental in helping global innovators protect and scale their ideas. His insights today will offer us a rare glimpse into the evolving landscape of patents, innovation ecosystems, and the role of institutions in fostering IP awareness. I would now have the pleasure of inviting Nitin sir to the stage to lead us into the day's proceedings and set the tone for what promises to be an inspiring and impactful gathering. A huge round of applause for sir, please.
To all the dignitaries on the dais and off the dais, very good afternoon. ये बहुत बड़ा सौभाग्य है कि हमें मौका मिलता है कि आईपी मिश्रा सर जैसे एंजल्स के साथ बैठ के बात करना और उनसे इंस्पायर होना. I mean 80 years में with the energy and the motivation, I mean it's unparalleled. All the students, I would say कि you should be really feeling lucky कि you have such a great motivated team of teachers here who are very much invested in your career and growth. It's very difficult to find that. There are not many places जहाँ पे पहुँच के मुझे लगता है कि excitement है, अरे ये करते हैं, वो करते हैं. And I can proudly say कि there are very few places like that और SSIPMT उनमें से एक है. Last 2 hours से we have seen the students doing a lot of stuff. We heard Nishanji and others and the esteemed HODs and the teachers here. The passion is what is really exciting. ठीक है, technology है, resources है, वो सब ठीक है. But what makes a difference is the guru who is really invested in you, right? And that's really the thing. So I wanted to really thank and the teachers, the management of SSIPMT. That's what brings us all here, all of us here, right? And I think Ram will also talk about it. So very excited. Thank you again for calling us here, and I will love to be here more to help us to get more motivated to do more, right? All right. So with that, I guess next few minutes we'll talk about technology. That's the assignment given to me for today. So let me start with asking you, and maybe some of you were there last time when we discussed this, but just to set the context, I think it's important for us to understand कि पिछले 15-20 सालों में क्या हुआ, right? Because the importance of history is कि वो हमें ये बताता है कि आगे क्या होने वाला है, right? So let me ask you this question. 2000, year 2000, या उसके आसपास 5 कौन सी कंपनीज थी जो कि मोस्ट वैल्यूएबल कंपनी ऑफ द वर्ल्ड या लार्जेस्ट कंपनीज ऑफ द वर्ल्ड? 5, कैन यू नेम दैम? 2000, year 2000 globally. Microsoft was not that big. Nokia maybe, yeah. IBM, okay. Oracle, okay, yeah. General Electric, yeah, General Electric. Maybe Exxon Mobil, largest oil producer वगैरह वगैरह, right? ठीक है. Today कौन सी है 5 कंपनीज? हाँ? I mean, change करते रहते हैं positions, that's fine, but Google, हाँ? Meta, Google, Meta, Nvidia, हाँ? Adobe is probably okay, but ठीक है, Adobe is also in the league. But Google, Meta, Microsoft of the world, right? Amazon. So ऐसा क्या हुआ कि जो बहुत बड़ी biggest companies थी पिछले 5 सालों में, वो 20 साल में है, मतलब पिछले 15-20 सालों में वो आज नहीं है. It's very important for us to understand that, क्योंकि next 15-20 साल, next 10 साल, 5 साल क्या होने वाला है, शायद उससे हमें कुछ insight मिले, right? क्या हुआ ऐसा पिछले 10-15 सालों में? एक गाना भी है ना, 14-15 सालों में, something like that, that reminds that. But क्या हुआ ऐसा टेक्नोलॉजी वर्ल्ड में, what happened that led to this transition? Anyone? हाँ? Automation, okay. Automation होता आया है, जैसा सर ने भी बताया, पहले टेलीकम्युनिकेशन आया, फिर ये आया, कंप्यूटर्स आए, तो ऑटोमेशन तो होता गया है, राइट? इनोवेशन भी होता रहा है, हाँ? Internet, okay, fair enough. Let's hold on to this. Computing power, yes. What else? हाँ? अच्छा मैं hint देता हूँ. 3 C's. One is computing. She said internet, I'll say connectivity. ठीक है? तो computing, connectivity, and third C is cloud, which also you can say a big data, the huge amount of data that we have. ठीक है? तो 3 चीज़ों ने क्या किया? The combination of these 3 has dramatized everything, and if you really look into it deeply, जो compute, let's take compute. पहले जब मैंने जॉब ज्वाइन किया आफ्टर डूइंग माई इंजीनियरिंग, हमें पहला कंप्यूटर मिला 90s में, जिसमें 16 GB रैम था, हार्ड डिस्क था, रैम तो भूल जाओ, 16 GB हार्ड डिस्क था और 516 MB रैम था और इंटरनेट कनेक्शन मिला. और सो प्राउड, जाके कईयों को बताया कि अरे मेरे पास 16 GB उसका वो है. आज जो फ़ोन हम कैरी करते हैं वो उससे कहीं ज़्यादा पावरफुल है, राइट? मतलब 526 1 TB का हार्ड डिस्क है, रैम इज़ लाइक काफ़ी ज़्यादा GBs में रैम है, ऑल दैट. एंड कंप्यूट पावर इज़ एक्चुअली मच मोर देन lot of big computers at that time. So compute has become significantly exponentially higher. दूसरा connectivity, right? आज हम data इतना तेजी से transfer कर रहे हैं, कहीं से भी कर रहे हैं, right? Airplane से भी कर रहे हैं आजकल तो, right? So हर जगह से data transfer हो रहा है. So that connectivity. And तीसरा cloud, which has given access to humongous amount of data to everyone. ठीक है? तो इससे हुआ क्या? इससे हुआ ये है पिछले 15-20 सालों में आप जो भी डेवलपमेंट या जो टॉप मोस्ट कंपनीज देख रहे हैं, दे हैव डिजिटाइज्ड ह्यूमन बीइंग. ठीक है? आज गूगल को मेरे बारे में ज़्यादा पता है, और थोड़ी देर बाद बोलता है ये लोग आपने ये किया, ऐसा किया, वैसा किया. अमेज़न बोलता है कि आपको ये खरीदना है, शायद आपको इसकी ज़रूरत है. ठीक है? या कोई आके बोलेगा कि आपको ये टेस्ट कराने की ज़रूरत है क्योंकि इस एज में शायद ये ज़्यादा टेस्ट होते हैं, आप कराइए, राइट? और योर ईटिंग हैबिट्स. नेटफ्लिक्स बोलता है मुझे ये देखना है, राइट? गूगल मेरे को लाके मेरी पसंद की चीज़ दे रहा है. सो व्हाट इट मीन्स इज कि ये जो पूरी इकोनॉमी बिल्ड हुई है गूगल की, एनवीडिया, व्हाटएवर, अमेज़न, माइक्रोसॉफ्ट, इट इज़ दे हैव डिजिटाइज्ड मी. They know for their business what is, who am I, what do I want, what do I need and all that, and they have built an economy through that. by creating use cases and value propositions that were not there earlier at all. ठीक है, ब्लॉकबस्टर पहले एक बहुत बड़ा मूवी रेंट बिजनेस हुआ करता था. When Netflix went to them कि भाई मेरे को invest in them or buy it out, they rejected कि streaming में कौन करेगा क्या करेगा. But today Netflix is the biggest entertainment company in the world because they know your likes, dislikes and everything, and they have a unique value proposition that nobody else can had in the regular business model. Right? So likewise, you take any of these, they have bring that. Now and this has made $25 trillion economy. मतलब आप ये अगर सब services value provide करेंगे, तो इसका total मिला के it's $25 trillion. A huge amount of value business generate हुआ है, जो कि पहले possible नहीं था. And that's what has caused them to be so highly valued because they are into the business which can generate that kind of revenues. New use cases, new services. Now today with AI and all that, it's all possible because of the compute, connectivity and so that's why AI had always been there. But these three things have given life to AI and it has made accessible to everyone. Now the question is, we also heard earlier कि क्या हमारे jobs जा रहे हैं? जब computer आया था वो भी था, इस तरह के questions थे, all that. So what is next? Now, if you really see what has happened with humans, and if you imagine what will happen with the industries and businesses and all that, then we are looking at an opportunity which is 3 times bigger than this. आज हम $25 trillion की बात कर रहे हैं. This opportunity is $75 trillion and more. तो ये कौन करेगा? ये आप लोग ही करेंगे, right? AI की मदद से करेंगे, ठीक है, but करने वाले तो humans ही रहेंगे. So we have a huge opportunity ahead of us in terms of what's possible and what is coming. हमें ज़रूरत क्या है ये समझने की कि क्या चल रहा है टेक वर्ल्ड में और उसका हम हिस्सा कैसे बने, right? And all these initiatives that you saw here and coming days will be around these things. So to conclude this part of my message, I would say we have a huge opportunity coming up, which is a transformation of industries. और मैं एक example दूंगा कि what does a transformation look like. पहले गाड़ी ख़राब होती थी, आप उसको गैराज में ले गए, उसको वहाँ वो 1 दिन के लिए रखेगा, चेक करेगा और वापस आपको देगा. Today, a lot of times, जैसे Tesla is a good example. इंडिया में भी बहुत सारी गाड़ियाँ आ गई उस तरह की, but that's what is already there. जहाँ पे आपकी गाड़ी ख़राब हुई है, you take a pause, call the service center. उस गाड़ी का एक digital twin service center पे है. They run a diagnostic test, figure out where the problem is, and everybody okay? Okay. So figure out where the problem is. There is a good chance कि एक सॉफ्टवेयर फिक्स या पैच आएगा या जो भी एक पैच आएगा डाउनलोड होगा गाड़ी में, गाड़ी ठीक है, रिकैलिब्रेट हो गया whatever, और वो गाड़ी वापस हाईवे 30 मिनट्स के अंदर, right? Similar things is going to happen or are happening in the industrial scale. You can imagine anything, any industry having a digital twin, which हम थोड़ा सा बात करेंगे आगे, which is reflecting the real world. It is not the modeling that we used to do earlier. It's not just the plain model, right? It's not a digital model, but it's a digital twin. And what it means is it's actually living, breathing model in the digital space, which is very well connected with the real world. So whatever is happening in real world is reflected in digital twin, and whatever you tweak in digital twin, it gets reflected in real world. It sounds simple, easy, but it's really, really complex thing, right? Because how does physical and real world connect? But that's where the whole thing is going on. So is my computer connected? Okay. So let's take a look at it कि हम ये सब जो बात कर रहे हैं उसमें हो क्या रहा है, right? How are we going towards that, or what's happening? And at the center of it is, as I said, connectivity, compute and data, right? So let's look at the connectivity part and how it's interacting with all of the other things, what are the features, etc., which is kind of driving some of these. Okay. So maybe I should come there. Is there a mic? So that I can see what's there. Okay. So if you see what has happened in the past, and this is all Qualcomm has been the center of it. Just to brag a little bit about Qualcomm, आप लोगों ने App Store use किया phone पे? Everybody? We had a patent of App Store way back in late 90s. ठीक है? The first App Store in the world was from Qualcomm. आपने internet use किया phone पे? Everybody? So first data packet transfer on a wireless network was done by Qualcomm in 1992, demonstrating that it can happen. Right? There are many such examples. GPS use किया? So GPS में a lot of technology that required to reduce the time to calculate this position of this tiny phone in the world from minutes to milliseconds is done by Qualcomm. We have lots of patents around it. I can go on and on, but just to say that Qualcomm has been at the center of all this transition in the whole thing. Right? Even the CDMA technology, which is 3G based in both GSM and CDMA world, is from Qualcomm, and lots of 4G, 5G technologies is from Qualcomm. Right? So basically, the whole digital revolution is actually the part of that. From phones to connected devices to intelligence or intelligent computing everywhere. We are right now in the middle, wherein all these devices are connected. But now we are moving into an era from today to next 5 years to 6 years and all that, where there will be intelligence in all of these devices. Right? Right now, there's not much intelligence on phone and this, and there is, it started to coming up now. Right? But we are looking at everything intelligent. So that's where we are heading to. Now, how is all this happening is, let's look at the connectivity part, because I'm assuming there's a lot of engineers here interested in communication, all that. It's basically, you have a cellular cycle, right? Every 10 years is a generation changing, right? So today, we are at a 5G. So what is the cycle? You basically start with invent vision, right? How 6G will look like, right? Typically, or how 5G would look like, it starts with that. And then you do some research, analysis, and figure out things. And then you have early inventions that are in the directions of the vision. You have certain proofs of concepts, and then at some point, those technologies starts to converge to start forming the standards. Okay? And then those standards, when they start evolving, and then you start putting products around it, trials and all that, and then finally it gets commercialized. That's like a 10-year cycle. So today, if you look at 5G, we are in the stage where it is commercialized, and advanced features are coming in, right? So if you really see this is the kind of a cycle in terms of number of years. So we are right now at the 5G advanced stage, if you see, right? 24, 25, we are actually seeing the 5G advanced features getting commercialized, and we are starting to see 6G in the horizon. We are in the stage where there is early, research and all that is happening and getting into, from vision to early research to, getting into the standard. So standardization has just begun. It will start, appearing in a few months to a couple of years from now. Okay, so that's all happening on the connectivity. So since, so this basically shows 5G and 6G features. In the center you have this 5G which brought in 3 critical things which are missing in 4G world. So when you look at 4G, it was basically about too much of data speed and certain features like very accurate positioning, etc., security and all this. Now imagine, okay, I'll come to this, but let's look at what 5G is bringing. all that which 4G brought, like high data download, massive data download, along with that it brought two new features which were kind of missing in the earlier generation. One is ultra reliable low latency, which means the communication between point A and point B is reliable. Right? No packet will get dropped. And low latency means very quickly. Right? It was not possible in 4G phones. Right? Now imagine a scenario where there is a car, autonomous car driving, and it needs to send a packet to the other car so that it doesn't collide and the packet didn't arrive. You cannot afford to do that. Right? That's the feature that's coming in here. And it has to go quickly, because if it goes with a delay, that's a problem. So ultra reliable low latency is a very important feature that 5G brought in. And then you had machine to machine communication, or a very low power communication for the devices like meters sitting way below the coverage area and all that. They don't need to send too much of data, but they need to send it once in a day or once in a week kind of a thing, and very small amount of data, so that, but they need to be power efficient. Imagine a meter situated in a tower which is not accessible. You can't have a person daily go there and check for the battery or change the battery, right? Now imagine these three requirements are very contradictory. At one end we want to download like gigabytes of data in seconds, and in the other time you want to send only few kilobytes of data once in a year or once in a day. Imagine the technology complexity that's explaining it. It's like designing a vehicle which can deliver 20 tons of grains as well as keep you, from this one narrow lane, also you can go from one place to another. It's very difficult, right? Very complex. So that's the complexity it brings in. But these are the three features. Now, is it just these three features? Then how can we say that the industry is transforming? I'll give an example on 4G and then we'll move on. In 4G, only with two features, which is like massive good data connectivity and GPS, industries have been transformed. Can you tell me which industries were transformed with just these two features? Just these two features. Yes. Huh? Okay, fair enough. Telecom was a service provider which provided these two features. But which industry, give me one or two examples of an industry which was totally transformed because of this. I'll pause here. Take a moment to think about it. It's my point. Because this is what I want you to think about. How you look at new features or capability and create a totally new value proposition. This is the crux of innovation. You don't need to go beyond super thing. Very simple. Anand Mahindra was interviewed in 2014 or 16 in World Economic Forum and was asked, who is your biggest competitor? Anand Mahindra, you all know, right? Mahindra and building cars and machines. Who is your biggest competitor? What do you think he would have answered in 2016? Okay, Tata. Who else? Maruti. Who else? Anyone else? Third answer and then we'll go on. Anyone? It's not none of these two answers. Not even Elon Musk. He probably wasn't there then. Well, he was there, but he wasn't in the auto business. No. He said my biggest competitor is Uber. But Uber does not make cars. Then how it can be the biggest competitor or biggest disruptor for it? That's because it changed the pattern of ownership, right? And a lot of people didn't want to buy a second car or another car because these services are so readily available, right? That's the power of combining these new features and disrupting the industry. You know, the largest hotel chain in the world is Airbnb. Without owning the hotel, can you imagine? Can you imagine Zomato has a much more value in terms of share price and all that, or company value, than Tata Hotels? Such a nice hotel. Can you imagine that? What does Zomato own? Doesn't own restaurants, doesn't own anything. Now, this is what I'm talking about, why we have Googles of the world as bigger companies than ExxonMobil or whatever. You appreciate the value? What has changed? It's a new business proposition using that. And if you can think of what features are available today and what's coming next, and how this will unleash the power, you will create next Zomato of the world. But you need to think what it's not. When you look at AI today, the first thing comes in how I can do my current thing better. Yes, you need to do that. That's not nothing wrong in that. But that will not give you that next breakthrough. The next breakthrough will come in when you create a new value proposition. And anything that you want to innovate as an engineer and want to do something else and all, you will have to look at what is that new value proposition you are creating which doesn't exist using all this. Right? Just think about it. Zomato, higher than Taj Hotels. Come on. Right? But it is. Why is it so? Let me give you an insight. Why is it so? Because Zomato knows most about our food habits across India. And it's also in Dubai and elsewhere. Why is it so important? Why somebody care what I want at 4 p.m.? Right? You know, Jubilant Foodworks wanted to start a new business in Delhi, Foodwork. Where did it go? It went to Zomato, asked what do people prefer in the evening in this region? Only Zomato had an answer, not Taj Hotels or whatever, or anyone. And they created a very good biryani business around it based on that data. That's why Zomato has more value than us. Right? Because it has created that new value proposition. Many examples are like that, but hope this example gives you a new way of looking at things and how what's coming will generate new business propositions like Ola, Ubers, and all of that. Right? Data is the new one. That's what they say, right? Data is everything. Data is help you to run everything. But it's not just that we collect the data and all. But how do you use that data to build that? Is build a new value proposition is the key question here. Right? Now 6G is bringing three more things. Right? We have not yet started utilizing the first two things, the remaining two things, right? Data download we are very good at, right? We have like 4K videos and all that and massive upload downloads, all that is done. We are in the process of coming out with good use cases that utilizes EMPC URLs. There, I mean autonomous cars and all these things which are coming in. It takes time. It takes time to refine it and all that, but they are all coming there, right? Now 6G is promising a lot more than that. Right? So you are looking at AI and communication. Right? Now today we are struggling with one use case as we speak, and I think we discussed that in the past also, is last year we did a pilot project as part of our CH1 initiative wherein we had device which helps the visually impaired. Okay? It does capture the video, right, and goes back to cloud for processing and converts into audio and say, okay, there are three people sitting in front of me. One is wearing this, one is wearing that and all that. And we got the device in our room and with a couple of people demonstrating it, they picked up the food table plate. They said, okay, sambar is in the left, rice in the right, and things like that. So we gave 100 devices to visually impaired and they collected the feedback. It was good, great, because it can tell, read the books, currency calculation, all that was great, but the biggest use case they wanted was the walking in the streets. And that requires no latency, again, right? And AI has a solution to it, but then you can't go to the cloud and all that. So you need an edge compute thing, right? So, or you need a faster communication and things like that. So what I'm trying to make it is AI and communications are very much integrated, and we'll see some more examples how it is going to be. But I'll just give an example about how these things are being evolving and how the AI is now moving towards the edge compute, and that's why we'll see all the intelligent devices now onwards, right? Anyway, so somebody has to stop me whenever I have to stop. Otherwise, I'll go on. So we have immersive communication, which means communication across the thing. Right now, we can't find it in basement, we can't find it in outside the main city and all that. So we are looking at satellite communications and whatever tons of means. For immersive communication, we are looking at uh, integrated sensing and communication, which means your wireless communication network will do a lot of sensing around the ecosystem, right? Positioning, object detection, and a lot more things. There are many use cases on that. And then AI we talked about, right? So ubiquitous connectivity, AI in communications, and integrated sensing is coming. Your homework is go research on these things, in 3 months, come out with a new idea and start working in Idea Lab. How you can use it hypothetically, right? So this is coming. And on the right hand side, it means what it's defining what it means by reliability, right? In 5G, we had a goal of URLLC, ultra reliable low latency. It had certain goals. Those goals are further refined, which are mentioned here. Let's not go into the detail. But my point here is, if one takeaway you can take it from this is, all these features are coming. Can you innovate on this? As a first step. If you can innovate on how we can achieve these new 60 features, wonderful. That possibility is also there. But that's not the only area to innovate. Can you create a new Ola Uber using those new features? Is the other thing, right? Okay. Coming back to AI, right? No topic today can end without AI, right? Without discussing AI. So AI, what's happening in it, right? So three major domains in AI, if you want to focus on. One is of course fundamental research, right? How the neural networks can be improved upon, can we tweak the algorithms and all this itself to make it better? That's one area, right? So you have things like, convolution in neural network, reinforcement learning, how to make it better, all that. Then you have a platform part of it. Okay, those algorithms are there, but how will they run? They run on a platform. And it's not just supercomputer sitting on the cloud. It's your phone, it's your watch, it's your what and what not. How do you create platforms that can achieve the ubiquitous AI and computing intelligence that we talked about? So work is happening on that, right? So you might go on and work in those areas. You might research on these areas and join the companies or the universities which are doing research in those areas. Right? That's another good research area. Then you have applied research area. And I think a lot of use cases that we saw fall under that. How do I use this model on this platform to achieve this use case, right? The use case that I mentioned is like, okay, can I have a vision glasses which can run AI efficiently and achieve my directional capabilities or navigational capabilities for people with disabilities without visually impaired, right? That all research is in the applied research area, right? And then there are of course intersection of it, how I can make my model run efficiently on a particular platform, what kind of optimization might be needed on a car, what optimization might be needed in those models for my watch, and things like that. Can I create an interaction between the processor and the memory such that it's faster? Things like that. Can I reduce the parameters from 8 to 4 to 2 maybe without losing the efficiency, or it's okay to lose efficiency in this use case, in this platform because I'm only focusing on this? Things like that. That's all research part, right? So, that's the other area. Right? Do I have time? Okay. Thank you. Only one yes? defines what this use case is bringing in, and that's where a lot of your R&D and customization will happen. Personalized, right? Because I want it to understand me, my preferences and all that, it has to learn that. And it has to be private. I don't want anybody else to know or learn from it, right? Because that's my data. I want to train this model just for me, right? So all these are the use cases. How will this work? And this is the sort of architecture that you see wherein you have, so voice activation, automatic speech recognition, etc. A lot of that happening on the edge, and for certain use cases it can go to the cloud. Now let me quickly look at the industrial automation. This is where I'm seeing this $75 trillion opportunity, right? You have a factory which has a camera doing surveillance, which has a robot, which has a person controlling, there's a demand fulfillment, right? All of that happening together. Just see how all of these devices, everything working together with all the 3 features of 5G. I'm not even talking about 6 features of 6G, right? So you have everything, sensors, computer vision, head-mounted display, everything happening together with the use of these 3 features. I'll pause here, you take a look at it to move to digest this. This is how transformation is happening. This is where the innovation is happening and value creation is happening. Right? So you have, I'm sure a few of you are working in robots. This is where you get plugged in. A few of you were using logging sensors, all that. Computer vision, XR, AR, VR, all that. Right? That's all. Look at personalized shopping thing, right? So that previous image was about you walk in the shopping mall, you look at you have a AR vision glasses, you look at a mannequin in a dress, and you want to imagine how you look in the dress, right? That's all possible. How that is happening is you have an edge device which is doing rendering, perception, prediction, etc. You need to have a very low latency connectivity. Either you process on the device or you have an edge device very closely that can interact, send, exchange frames very quickly. Of course, can do things in the background cloud, but not for those which requires low latency interaction, and you can achieve that. Right? That's one architecture, but we can always design as an engineer a different one depending on needs. I'll take another 5 minutes and just wrap up that it's not just that connectivity is helping AI use cases. AI is such a useful thing that is happening everything, including wireless communication. And what we see coming up next is, and this is important for everybody, all engineers, but specifically students who are in the space of electronics, communication, and sort of computer thing, right? What's happening? There are lots of, and this is all about 5G advanced, but more about 6G. So if you want to be future ready and relevant and all that, this is you should pay attention to, right? And we can talk offline on how you can go deeper into it. But there are problems in wireless communication, and some of the communication experts might understand it better. There are certain problems which are very hard to code or in the traditional way, right? They are very complex. You can't model it. You need a lot of parameter optimization. The configuring. If you look at the phone, and I think Ram is a great expert. He led the modem software team for entire Qualcomm for a long time. So allow me to make mistakes. I'm not an expert as much. So in a phone, you might have to tweak your modem, calibrate it, so that it can make all these trade-offs between data efficiency, power, and all of that, right? That's a very complex task. Or when you look at a camera and you calibrate it so that it can perform well, create good images, in most of the scenarios, you need to tweak a lot of sensor parameters, camera parameters. Likewise, display. I mean, I remember days when we were tuning a display for a TV screen, it took like 6 months for us to get it right, to get the customer approval. Those kind of problems which are hard to model, hard to code, AI is actually a blessing. Those things now can be done in 2 days, 1 day. Right? That's how because you feed in so many inputs. I mean, So likewise in wireless, there are many problems like that for which research is going on to see how we can use AI to do that, right? So we are looking at optimized, when you use, and the 6G is going to have AI integrated into the communication. Today, 5G network is separate, AI is on top of it. Whatever use cases that we looked at, they will be all top of 5G communication protocols and all that. 6G is expected to have AI ingrained in it. The protocols itself will have AI model exchange, data exchange, and whatnot. Right? So all of that is going to happen. So we are looking at, today we are at overlay AI, wherein you have a network on which AI is working. Then you are looking at cross-node AI, wherein the tower and the handset will interact, exchange some things to realize some of the solutions to the communication problems using AI. But 6G will have AI natively, which means that model management, data management, privacy, everything around AI is all integrated in the standards. How the models get updated, how the learning gets back to the original, and all of that. Right? So that's where we are heading. I'll quickly skip. These are the specific problems. I can point you to resources where it's available online. Some of these from Qualcomm website also. You can look at it. But some of these problems that are being researched in the advanced 5G are here. Channel feedback, beam management, positioning, etc. Right? So using AML hard to model problem, this is one of the examples, channel modeling. We'll skip that because I think they are all nitty-gritties, but I'll just skip that. And one last point, okay, this is happening today. What I talked about, right, how research is happening is, you have a vision, you have an early research. So this is a test node setup wherein we are researching how cross node can happen, right? AI interaction, etc. Then there is also, we have AI native, as I said, AI native machine learning. So let me just, these are some of the challenges that we are looking at and will be solved in next 3 to 5 years. Right? How you collect data, specifically for network, how tower is behaving, how data tower is collecting, phone is collecting, core network is collecting, how do you manage all this? How you manage device network, procedures, how do you update models, etc. and all that. So AI services, just remember these 3 points: data analytics, lifecycle management, and services. All these 3, how this will be managed in 6G is what we looked at. Okay? Digital twin networks. Prototypes are working today. It's not something in future, right? As I said, automobile industry is leading the digital transformation of industries. You are seeing cars today that do this, but every other industry will go through this, including wireless communication industry. And you see that we have a network digital twin in San Diego. This is our headquarters, where this is a digital twin in which some of these experiments are being done on how do we make these digital twin work and things can get into the standards. So with that, I'll pause and stop here. But I'll leave, and some of these videos are available online. You can always look at it. Right? So you saw what's coming in, right? We saw what happened in last 10-15 years with us. It's happening with devices and industry in next 10-15 years. 5G, 6G, and AI are complementing each other. Right? The biggest use case like autonomous cars, etc., that are transforming will not be able to work without efficient connectivity, and that's why 5G, 6G is super critical. Intelligence is moving or already moved from cloud to edge now. Today my phone does a lot of AI-based modem functions, but it's just doing on the phone only. It's not interacting much with the cloud, with the tower and core network today. That's 6G or 5G advanced. Right? So it's already moved to the edge, but now a lot more movement will happen. Right? And we are evolving from overlay AI to cross-node and all that. and digital twin. I think if you can remember these terms, that's a good takeaway of it. So with that, I'll stop here and thank you. If you have any questions, thoughts, suggestions, we can talk in the break. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir, for this enlightening address. Your perspectives and your shared insights have truly enriched our understanding of the innovation that is happening around us with regards to the artificial intelligence, 5G and 6G technologies. Thank you so much again. Ladies and gentlemen, our next speaker is a name synonymous with wireless innovation and global IP leadership. It is my absolute privilege to welcome Sri Ram Krishnan, Vice President of Engineering at Qualcomm based in San Diego, California. With over 3 decades at Qualcomm, Ram sir has played transformational roles from leading the launch of world's first 4G service to driving Qualcomm's 5G patent portfolio and shaping high-impact IP licensing strategies. Sir currently leads global ecosystem development efforts across US, India, Southeast Asia and the Middle East African region, helping institutions and government strengthen their innovation framework. With this brief introduction, I would now ask and invite, with a huge round of applause, Ram sir to the dais, please. Sir, please.
Hello everyone. It's so great to be here in front of all the distinguished guests here and most importantly being in front of the students. You know, probably they might not tell you this, but the most important guest here is really the students. I mean, we are here because of you and not the other way around. So I hope to kind of make this speech kind of more inspirational for building ecosystems and building startups. I mean, that's kind of where I want to focus. I will actually, how many people know Nitin is a lawyer? Right? So Nitin did so much like deep wireless speech, like I'm an engineer. And I'm starting like, so I'm not really going to talk about wireless anymore. I mean, like, where did that come from, right? So actually, being an engineer, I will talk about IP more. Okay? So you're in for a real treat. So, but I think students might already be hungry. You know, I'm a little hungry, but hopefully you can bear with me. I know, like, but they don't have cookies in front of them. Hopefully you can bear with me for like the 30-40 minutes that I'm going to talk. Okay? So I'll start with a little story. Mr. Vishal is not here. He'll come back. Okay, maybe I'll tell the story when he's not here. So this thing, like in Qualcomm, I work on, among many other things, I work on this L2 Pro platform, right? Which is basically, I think many of you know it. It's a e-learning platform for IT, right? So I'm part of the team that created it. Okay, so we have a website developer in Delhi who is taking care of that platform. We're taking care of like maintenance and analysis and all those things, right? So I'm talking to them. He's here. So I was telling the story of why I'm coming to Chhattisgarh. Okay. So I'm talking to these guys every week. I'm responsible for this project. So I want to make sure the website is running fine and what are the analytics, right? So I called them every week. I called them one week and I said, okay, tell me about analytics. Which state are most students coming from? They said Chhattisgarh. So I have to look at Chhattisgarh in a map. Okay, I know what it is. It's split from Madhya Pradesh, right? Okay, got it. Next week I called them. This week, what is the state that's leading the learning, right? Students learning. Chhattisgarh. Okay, man. Okay, that's fine. It's a coincidence. That's fine. So Kirti is like going to like Mumbai to tell some university in Mumbai to take L2 Pro, right? So next week I call these guys, the website guys. This week, who's the leader? Chhattisgarh. Kya ho raha hai, right? So I was like, is it Maharashtra? Are you sure? No, Chhattisgarh, right? So then, see, this keeps going on, right? So that's when I called Nitin, and Nitin was like, Nitin, do you know this mystery? What is going on with the Chhattisgarh, right? So like, he's like, wait till you meet my friend Nishant Tripathi, right? He's an amazing guy, right? So, and he tells me this whole story. This SSIPMT is there in Raipur, and they are very passionate about innovating. So I saw the lab, so I know that is true. They're not making it up. So, so you are innovating, and by the process of innovating, you want to learn about L2 Pro, right? So that's why Nishant sir has made it mandatory, and that's why you are getting so many learners from here. But it's not really the numbers. I mean, numbers are great, like 2,000. I go tell my boss. My boss is Sudipto Roy, Bengali. It's like Chhattisgarh is leading. Okay, right? Not West Bengal, right? So, and I got 2,000, right? And Sudipto says he's classic taskmaster, right? He says, Ram, can you make it 50,000 next year? Okay. Okay, we'll try, right?
So for that, yes.
I think I have to go to Sri Adi Vishwani. Like maybe next time I have to go to Bilaya. Somehow 20 universities, please. So like I will make sure that I will tell Sudipto about my visit. He will be very interested, but he will be like asking like what is next. So I have to, I think, bring him here next time. So right, exactly. So okay, so I think that's the reason why I'm here. I told Nitin I have to make this gentleman. I mean, mostly like I know there's great things happening with great teachers over here, and you are the reason why this university is shining. But I only knew Mr. Nishant Tripathi. So I was like, I have to meet this gentleman. So coming here for the first time, it's like a 30-hour flight, right, from San Diego. So before I get on the plane, Nitin tells me, hey, there's an agenda for this meeting. So I'm like, okay, no, we'll take care here, right? Like, we'll be fine. Yeah. So I have other things to work on. So I have a meeting with government in Delhi. So actually, that is also interesting. I will tell you a little bit later what they told me. But I'm also like, I have to prepare for my meetings in Delhi. So we'll figure it out, right? So Nishant and I Nitin and I were in the Delhi airport this morning, 6:30. We woke up at 3, right? So he's like dragging me out here. And so you said there was an agenda. Yeah, there is a 45-minute speech. Oh my God. What topic? Technology. Well, okay, I can do that. But then he speaks for like 45 minutes and he covers all the technology topics. So I was actually... Correct. So I have no idea what he has prepared. I didn't even see these slides, right? So anyway, so that's when, like in the plane, I was writing what I should say on my phone. That's why I'm holding my phone here, not checking WhatsApp or anything like that. Right? Okay, so I'll start with actually. Again, I want to make this kind of an inspirational speech for students to like think about entrepreneurship. So I'll tell you when I went to Delhi, we met with a couple of important people like Controller General of Patents. Nitin was there. And also we met with the DPIIT, which is basically part of Ministry of Commerce. Right? So Minister Piyush Goyal ji has been saying, I want Indian boys and girls to look at the tech startups, right? I mean, sometimes his comments get taken out of context and, controversial, whatnot. That's all fine. What Minister Goyal is saying is, So what does it mean, right? Like it comes down to people like you. It's not the, I would say, like, I would confess, I've never been to like a tier 1 institute in India. I don't know why. I mean, they're great. IITs, IIScs, maybe like, I should go there somewhere. But I don't feel the hunger, right? Like I think institutions such as yourselves and boys and girls like you are showing that hunger, right? And then if you come from Chhattisgarh, so be it. Like you can take your inventions to the world. You can become the next Qualcomm, maybe, right? So that's the message from Delhi. It's like Viksit Bharat ke liye deep tech startup में investment चाहिए, right? Actually मैं भी हिंदी बोल सकता हूँ लेकिन किसी को पता नहीं चलता क्या बोलता हूँ. So I'll stick to English. Okay, so unlike the rest of it. Okay, so that's fine. So Qualcomm should serve as an inspiration. So I'll tell you the Qualcomm story. I'm hoping that sometimes it feels unreachable, right? Like how do you go from to a Fortune 500, 50,000 people company when you are a young person? It might seem unreachable, right? But it always starts small. So before in 1986, when Qualcomm was founded in San Diego, actually the professor, Dr. Jacobs, who founded it, was about 51. He actually taught in MIT. He was a PhD in electronics. He made a lot of wonderful inventions. He wrote a lot of books. He was teaching in MIT. Somebody invited him to San Diego. San Diego was very nice. I don't know if you've been to San Diego or would like to, maybe in future, some of you will visit San Diego. And it's a beautiful, sunny place with a lot of beaches and all that. Dr. Jacobs decided to stay and, in a place called La Jolla, which is like a really beautiful place. He was like, he said, I will teach at UCSD, right? He was 51. And then suddenly they got the idea, like, let us go to our garage. Garage basically like the car park they have in their house with like 8 people. Just pulled some money together and create a startup for communications, for digital communications, right? They went through a tough time. Actually, a lot of times they were thinking of quitting. They were thinking of like, they don't have enough money to pay anybody's salary, right? They were asking for loans. Very interesting story is, I think Nitin might know this, is like actually based on their patents, early patents, they got some loans. And they got some licensing revenue from some companies, right? That actually gave them a lifeline, right? So Dr. Jacobs was saying like, hey, I want to grow. He was saying I want to be at least 100 people. That is my dream for Qualcomm, right? We have 50,000 people. So, we have 50,000 people. Actually, I think we have 20,000 people in India. So, I'm sure there are like bigger companies in India. We believe that like we have like probably the best foundational technologies. And the reason why we have it is all our founders think like professors. So I mean, you come here every day, you should look at your professors for inspiration. I mean, the way professors think, they think about like the scientific method, right? Like how do you, what is the problem? How do you solve that problem? Does anyone benefit from your solution? And will anyone buy your solution? These are kind of the scientific process that you need to think about, right? So anyway, I won't bore you with like my slides too much. I think we can go down. And then I think Nitin has covered this exhaustively. So I'm gonna skip this one, go to the next one. So, okay. So one more kind of story about Qualcomm. You can tell that we are very proud of Qualcomm. Back in 2016, Paul Jacobs, who was our CEO, met with Prime Minister Modi, like other people like Satya Nadella were there. What Mr. Modi said was, I want Make in India to succeed, I want MNCs to help spread the word, right? So our CEO said, we can do one thing. We are not makers. I mean, like they're not like manufacturers. Okay, so there are other people who do manufacturing better. Okay, so but we are designers. Okay, so we changed the name. We said we have a Qualcomm Design in India Challenge. Okay, it's a modest program. I mean, I'm not going to say that this is like the best startup program in the world, right? It's a modest program. We take maybe 10, 15 startups per year. We incubate them. Very early stage startups. No equity, right? We don't take equity. And then sorry, I think some of you cannot see this. Let's stand over it. Okay, so they can see it. So, go back. Yeah. 10, 15 startups, we give them a little bit seed money, no equity taken. We don't get rights to the patents. It's purely for, as Prime Minister Modi told us, like how can MNCs help with Make in India? So our CEO said, do it, right? Give these guys a chance. So and then we told them we can give you an incentive for filing patents. A lot of people don't know this. Nitin should have probably told you this, that even the government gives you incentives for filing patents, right? So, and I'm surprised that, yeah, some of these people I talked to in Delhi didn't know about it. So, I'm very glad that you know about it, right? So, okay, good. So, somebody asks for procedure, we can say, right. So then, we got to more modern era where we have a couple of other programs. Okay, we have a women-led startup program, very important for Prime Minister Modi, for the Indian government, but forget that it's very important for us, Qualcomm, to support women-led startups. So women in the crowd, if you have an idea, there's never been a better time to look at how you're going to, develop that idea, how to get funding. There is so much resources available out there, right? So I hope this kind of again serves as an inspiration. So we have come a long way. We have a women-led startup. We have L2 Pro. Again, thanks to you, we have 20,000 students in L2 Pro. We have a semiconductor mentorship. Semiconductor is hard. Okay, so actually, let me ask you a question here. Like, define deep tech. Anyone, students? If you're still not sleeping.
So deep tech is generally those technologies which are core to the electronics era of this world, like semiconductors, electronics, chips, telecommunication.
Yeah.
Without these can't exist. These are those.
Yeah, very good. He was saying deep tech revolves around technology and hardware solutions, electronics, kind of like system solutions, which requires hardware, software, systems coordination. I think you had a comment. Correct. So it's great. The Idea Lab is like a perfect example of how to incubate deep tech startups, right? Everyone is building something. You're using your hands there, right? It's not like, nothing wrong with creating an AI app that everyone likes. But we also want people to build with their hands, right? So thank you. What is the problem with deep tech startups?
So these startups generally, these are capital intensive. First of all, because
Exactly.
because of it, that's very critical
Yeah.
They take time to evolve, mature, and develop. That's
Correct.
one of the biggest challenges.
Correct. So, deep tech startups take anywhere from 8 to, sorry, go ahead. Correct, correct. Yeah. So, a lot of the things you said are correct, like, in capital intensive, hardware intensive, difficult to procure. One of the biggest problems with deep tech startups is it takes like, even if you're successful, it takes 8 to 10 years to exit, right? Exit meaning like, either you go IPO or you get acquired or whatnot, right? There's a company called Steradian Technologies in Bangalore. They developed a semiconductor that worked in a car to like map a highway, basically which cars are in the highway. They exited. They basically got acquired by Renaissance. So that's an amazing example of like, working on a semiconductor design is like almost impossible for a startup to like succeed. Like, it's very low success rate, right? So, so that's all the things here. No, I mean, yeah, there is an AI program for startups which is still being formulated. Maybe next time we will have we'll have opportunity to like for somebody to participate from here. Today I won't go deeper into that. Can we go to the? Yeah. Okay. So these are 3 startups. Just for example, we are very proud of. This is to give you some ideas as to like where youngsters are creating technologies, companies, and how they are succeeding. So Adigo Diagnostics is from Chennai. What they're doing, very interesting. They have a device. It's like a device like a phone. It's a handheld device which has like laser. It has laser measurement and an AI engine. Okay. What they do is, let's say you have a cut in your hand, like you have a wound in your hand. It's an open wound. You show the device of the wound. It actually can, based on the length and the kind of the color and everything, it can run an AI algorithm to see like what type of bacteria might be there in that wound. And so without taking a biopsy, right, which takes 2 days, you can actually predict and give the proper antibiotics. Okay? So that's, I think the founder is a woman who is a doctor. Actually. So innovation can come from anywhere, right? It's not just electronics or AI that is for deep tech. It can be healthcare. It can be water, right? Like Nimble Vision is in Bangalore. What they found was there was a lot of these water tanks were like losing water, and they didn't know why. Like so, the water tanks kind of the tanker lorries that were taking the water were like spilling water. Now they're actually going into a different place. Instead of delivering to one tank, they are delivering to a different tank. Lots of problems. So they created IoT modules for all the public water tanks, and they interconnected them, and they were able to do smart algorithms to like predict where water was going to be lower, how to deliver the water more efficiently. Bangalore city is actually using it in some places. Okay. Last one, Ajmal X. XR skill development, I think, is probably an area that you all can investigate, because the hardware is getting a little cheaper now. It's also getting more efficient. So what these fellows did was, if you put on these glasses, and you can actually like train somebody in an industrial situation without going into the industry. So if you want to do like IoT manufacturing or something, and this technician wants to learn from an ITI kind of thing, right? So they put this on, and they simulate the environment, and then they help train. So what happened here was the DRDO approached them and said, hey, we are interested. For defense purposes, we want to train our soldiers with this kind of algorithm, right? All of them are deep tech. Why? Because they're using, they're using Qualcomm hardware, but you can use any hardware. But you develop these kind of innovative solutions in different fields, right? So when we were in the lab, we saw some really great ideas. So congratulations to all of you who are working on that. But as Nitin was saying, think about what people really need. Okay, I'll give you another example. It's kind of a sad example. I was working with an African startup. They're in Tunisia. They created two products. Okay, they created one product which is like an AI camera that looks at genes. They were making genes. Okay. Well, the AI camera looked at the genes to see where the damage. There is a damage in the genes, so like it can be flagged early and somebody can fix it. Right. The second invention, they created a helmet with a clean air fan. Because the workers were ingesting dust from the fabric and they were getting sick. So they were very proud. They told us we have these two inventions. Their investors said, I like the first one, I don't like the second one. It's very sad, right? Like, it's like you can't predict what people want, right? And this guy was like, okay, they are getting sick, but that's not making me money. But if you fix my genes, it's making me money. So I like it, right? It's callous. But what if you are developing a product and your investor says, I don't like it. What are you going to do? Right? So that's your next step. You're like, you have to see who will use your product. Otherwise, the best patent is useless if nobody is using them. Right? So, I'm not sure how I'm doing my time. Yeah, another thing, now I'll switch to IP because our lawyer covered all the technologies. So, people put patent walls. In San Diego, in our office, in our headquarters, there are like, probably about 5,000 patents which are sitting in our wall. And we stopped because we are running out of real estate. We have 160,000 patents. So obviously you can buy a new building if you're going to put the patent wall. But our Bangalore office has a different kind of patent wall. It is not Qualcomm patents. It is patents of our startups that we mentored who have been successful. Right? So we are proud of them. Right? So these are some of the patents here. There's this company called Yogify. I think you might look them up. They make these smart yoga mats. Which is like, right? You might have heard of that. But anyway, so we keep going. I will just stop soon. I think maybe this is basically like Indian Telecom has this thing called 100 5G use case labs. So Qualcomm is helping with some of these labs, right? But I'm not sure if there are any universities in Chhattisgarh. Yeah, right? So that's a wonderful program. It again will motivate startups because 5G is now very mature, but there's a lot more to be invested in 5G. And then 6G is coming down the pipe, right? So and then don't ask yourself, is 6G going to happen? Is 6G needed? I think what you need to ask is like, how can I contribute, right? So in 10 years, where will you be? Like, how are you going to support Viksit Bharat, right? That's the question that all of you youngsters need to be asking yourself, right? It's not like everyone is going to be an entrepreneur, but a lot of jobs are created by small businesses. So when you're in a tough time, like you read the news these days, they say, okay, AI is stealing jobs. We're not getting software engineers, not getting a job. Like, hey, I wanted to work in Infosys, but they're not hiring. But that's fine. Take it as a challenge, right? So there are a lot of small companies which hire, there are 30,000 small companies which hire like a handful of engineers. And if you're part of that, you're part of a movement, right? You're part of this experiment that you're doing to support your country's GDP, to support your country's growth. So that should make you proud, that's an avenue for you to investigate. So, if you want more? Okay, so this is the last one. I'm just going to kind of just give you like a little bit of contours to think about. Like who all want jobs? Like nobody is raising their hand. So you must be really hungry right now. Does anyone want jobs after graduating? No? Okay. Yeah. I think everyone should raise their hand. Unless you're going to do like a PhD or something like that. That's totally fine. But where are the jobs? Right? So, so some of these examples that I was writing about. Look at the yellow first. The interesting thing about today is like all of these yellow areas need electronics, need software, need AI. They need engineers. So healthcare needs engineers. Point of care needs engineers. Wellness needs engineers. Right? So it's not anymore like separate industries. Oh, I am an engineer. I got an engineering degree. I cannot go into healthcare. That's no longer true. So you need to, I think you need to broaden your vision to see like where you can be most helpful, right? We talked about semiconductors, smart city, smart industry, another big part of Viksit Bharat, right? So a lot of projects are going on. That's another area to look at. It's actually not that hard to invent in those areas because you can find like IoT modules. You can get like an Arduino module, anything you can get for a low cost. You can actually get companies to sponsor in some cases, right? And then you can invent around it. So some of these areas are great, right? Drones are really big. I told some people over there in the lab, we got a startup that was delivering vaccines in Meghalaya and Nagaland, right? And the government was very happy with it. Like, during COVID time, everything was going crazy, and then suddenly you got like a drone company who was able to deliver vaccines. So I think the minister was very proud of that, right? So I mean, imagine that, right? One of you in future might be like in Indian Mobile Congress, and the minister says, "Hey, I like your startup." I mean, that would be like an amazing thing for not just you, for the college, right? Agri-tech, green tech are big spaces. There was a company in Vietnam actually who filed like hundreds of patents, and we were looking at their patents. A lot of it is like aquaculture. So very suited to Vietnam. Like you look at the climate, you look at the kind of the way the people consume their food and all that. It was really important for them to have like fish culture along with like rice paddies and all those other things, right? And a lot of diseases, right? So having so many patents about like how to fix diseases in aquaculture, right? But India will have one of those things which is like, okay, this is an Indian problem. How do I solve this Indian problem? Like, it is your job to find out. I mean, I told you about Africa and Vietnam, right? But you find out what is an Indian problem that you need to solve. So, like I said, not everybody is going to be a startup or an entrepreneur. That's a good thing to do. It's a tough thing to do, right? You can also, there are a lot of new jobs created like tech transfer professionals. I think maybe in the evening we're going to talk a little bit about it. Tech transfer professionals are in a good space. IP is actually a good space. I mean, you can become a lawyer like Nitin and then talk about technology. So, combination of engineering, business and legal is another amazing thing, right? So one of my former bosses was, he had an engineering degree, he had an MBA, and then he had a law degree. I don't know what he did for fun, but he did all that while working, right? So, but powerful combination. Now he's the CEO of a company. So if you have law, business, and engineering, there's nothing outside your reach, right? Okay, I think I'm going to wrap it up. Again, thank all of you very much. Actually, it's a privilege for me to be here. I don't want to see myself as like a guest, chief guest, right? I think you guys are all the chief guests, and we are just here to inspire you. Right? Tomorrow, maybe take a little bit of what we say and try to like inspire yourself, and that would be like achievement for us, right? So, yeah?
Coming to such a
Correct.
place is because
Exactly. Yeah. So I hope to visit here again, and then maybe even have more programs with your university. But I congratulate all of you. Wish you the best of luck. You know, go out there and.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much for that compelling and insightful address. Your journey actually continues to inspire innovators, not just in this country, but across the borders. Thank you so much, sir, again. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to open the floor for a brief Q&A session. This is your opportunity to engage directly with the experts and our esteemed speakers who have dwelled deep into the insights that they've shared. So I'll open the floor now. If anybody has any questions, they can please go ahead. I would ask the volunteers to be ready with the mics. In case if anybody has a question, can just stand up or raise their hands. Anyone from the experts or the academic fraternity or the students? Anyone? Well then,
they don't want anyone to come and meet them and their lunch.
yes, exactly, that was what I was saying. Actually, that indicates that students are really hungry. In fact, my guests are also hungry. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's approach the conclusion of this Exposition 2025.
Hello.
We have a question?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, we have a question.
I have one question from Ramakrishnan sir or Nidhin sir. Basically, I wanted to ask, I was seeing your slide, Ramakrishnan sir, and from those slides I've seen about this Pro India program, QSMP semiconductor program. Where can we find more details about these? Are they available on any website, or what would be the links, and how a college like us can collaborate with a company like Qualcomm to come up with some new products or some kind of, if we want to have a industry sponsored lab in our college, then are there any openings or ventures, or what are the ways, Qualcomm kinds of gives us helping hand or extends helps to us?
Oh, thank you. That's a great question. We can send you more information on those programs. They usually run on a one-year cycle. Sometimes there will be not many new startups that we select. Sometimes there might be a few, but it's like I said, it's a modest program. You know, maybe like around India we might select like 5 to 10 startups. So it's not like, I think there is an application process, and people can apply, and then we go through like a independent panel of judges, and that's how we select. So we can send more information.
So now we have some more questions. I think so. Some curiosity has been raised. A question from a future innovator, maybe.
Good afternoon, sir. I'm Shrishti Parashar from second year, third semester. I'm in computer science core branch. This question might sound foolish to you, but I want you to know, since you have come so far from such a far away place, I want you to know what you expect from us. Like in future, if you want us as your employees, then what do you expect from us?
Now I understand the question. That last part, yeah, no, I think I made it clear in my speech what I'm hoping that you will consider. But, you know, if you want to work for a big company, there's nothing wrong with it. There are a couple of people who work for big companies here, right? So, it takes all kinds of people.
And anything that you expect in your upcoming future that you want to do, or you are still looking after, since we have seen in this presentation, you have done so many things, you're still on it. Anything else you want to go, like something that you have in mind?
I didn't mention all of these things when I was talking, but there's a lot to do in AI.
Yeah. One more question, please stand up. Yeah. So now students are hungry for more insights.
Good afternoon, sir. Sir, actually, I'm also a computer science student from first semester. Sir, actually, I have a very important question which I've been wondering from a long time actually. I have seen that many technologies since the age of computers have always came from America, USA, like computers, chips, telecommunication, they have always led in that thing. So I always wonder that what qualities or what is their mindset regarding technology and innovation that we may not be have adopted right now, because it's not just about AI and technology. It's about the mindset, because if we have the mindset, we can lead in the future. But I believe that might be there is something missing, or we need to adapt with time. And so you have also good experience in IP, and you have spent a good time with people in US. So I'd like to know your point of view, what should be done in this thing?
I think one thing from my experience in the US is like the university system is very strong. They are able to raise a lot of funds. So the university industry nexus is somewhat astounding in the US. Like, if you look at especially the top universities, right? But even a lot of universities in the US are able to monetize ideas and incubate ideas around them. Right? I was in Georgia Tech a few weeks ago. They said like about $4 billion of incubated ideas are around Atlanta, like near the Georgia Tech campus, by students of Georgia Tech, right? I think that is missing in India. Like I think the kind of fundamental research is very strong, but how to incubate ideas, take them out of the universities, make this area like richer, right? Like can startups be formed in Raipur who are graduating from SSIPMT? That bridge is not quite, in my opinion, but I'm not like an expert on in universities. I think within.
So it's a big question, right? And I think there are a lot of things that we can look at. So first of all, our education system.
Yes.
Right? My kids, one has gone through JEE exam and other one is going through it now. 2 years lost in rote learning. My son very much interested in technology. While in studying 11th, he was at Fitly. He came home, he said, he connected resistors and transistors and said, look how the current is moving. And my first reaction was, put this aside, this will not help, solve 10 more questions so that you get better at it. Where is experimental learning? It's missing. Next, you go to the college. The structure of college, not about SSIPMT, very happy to see the change here. You have first year, first semester, these subjects. You finish this, you get a degree, and you look for a job. Where is an engineering mindset getting you? Right? The things that you are seeing in this college is unique, because right from the first semester, you are asked to take these technological pieces, solve something. And if you are able to do that, then nothing is going to stop you. Simple. Right? All these examples that you are seeing from the people in India, this has come in the last 10 years. Why? Because now we are appreciating innovation things. We are appreciating risk taking. A secret I'll tell you today. In last 20, I finished 20 years in Qualcomm in January. In my 28 years, this is 20th year in Qualcomm. Sorry now, I had never worked in a project which has earned money for Qualcomm. Mostly failures, if not all. I'm still around, right? That's not the reason I did law. I still love technology. But the point I'm trying to make here is you have to accept risk taking. And for innovation, the parameters of success are very different, right? So that mindset change is happening in society today. Today, parents are very proud to say my son is in the last 5 years doing startup and he's still not making money, he's still living with me. That's a proud factor rather than saying, hey, this guy is not doing anything, I don't know what he's doing. 10 years ago, 15 years ago, that was not the case. I think these are the simple factors. The other thing is, with the strong IP ecosystem, the emphasis on innovation has increased, right? You look at what you name an example of why these are coming from US or maybe some of the other things, right? One of the strong reasons is this very strong IP ecosystem. There's a strong discouragement and a bar to copy someone's technology and do it. See, Qualcomm is a classic example. If you read history of Qualcomm, it is the never say die attitude, which is why Qualcomm is where it is today. That kind of a thing was missing in India. Right? That strong IP protection. Qualcomm only had one thing. It had great technology, but it had protected it really well. And so, across the globe, nobody was able to make unjustified use of it. That's coming in India now. And that's what we are trying to inculcate through L2 Pro India now, that why it is not just a subject. This is not just a subject. Right? And as I said, 2,000 numbers is not why we are here today. We are here today because the benefits of imbibing the teachings of L2 Pro is seen in this college. That's the big difference. Today we spoke to a few students, right? You have created in first year nice products with the problem that you are seeing. What is missing, which is my next answer to your question, is that connect to market and business. See, you created it, it cannot sit in the lab. From lab to market, there's a lot of learning, tough learning that you have to do. It's not easy to get 10 rupees out of somebody's pocket. You have to learn that. See, we were with a lot of folks who were, trying to do R&D for the country and all that, and were comments that, hey, we are not able to get into standards, all that. Answer to them is also the same. If you are talking about technologies which are changing the world, changing the lives of the people, which means one, technology has to be useful. Number two, people should find it useful, therefore they should be able to pay. Who will do this job of making it useful? Is us. Right? Look at success of Google's of the world and Microsoft's of the world and every other company is successful. Is that it's not just a technology, but a collaboration of technology with business, legal, financial acumen that has gone into it. Right? So it's not just, your journey should not stop by making a good prototype here. If you have done this in first year, by end of fourth year, your goal should be that can this be a product that can be sold? Right? For example, this women's safety feature, right? I don't know if the students are here. They made a product which is simple, a nice one, which is like, okay, I press a button, get us signal. Can you make it a product that's sellable in the market at the cost price with the reliability, efficiency, and all that? If you can do that, then great. Right? So these are the things. Things are changing. It's not all of us. I think last 10 years have been amazing. I mean, you see the quality of startups that have come up since then. People talking about patents and all that. The US has been doing it for 200 years. It has been innovation, protecting innovation has been there in that preamble. We have started in 2005 because we were forced to do that. Not that we did it willingly. That's the sad part of it, right? But let's accept that, right? Let's accept that we came from a very negative appreciation of innovation and protection and all that. Versus, you name 5 top innovative countries. I'll stop very quickly, but let's say what are the top 5 innovative countries in the world? US? China. Let's leave China aside. We'll come to China, but US, Japan, Germany, Taiwan, Germany, maybe one more. Korea. These are IP5 countries. They have the strongest IP system in the world. Right? I'll give you one more example. James Watt, we all know, right? James Watt loved innovation engineering, just like you guys do. Right? He was working on a problem, how to automatically generate power. He lost his money. This is finite money, in research costs money. He borrowed money from his friend. He consumed that money also. He was poor, he became poor because he lost all his money. He couldn't help with the treatment of his wife, who died subsequently. He was in a bad shape, he went back to his whatever old job. Then one investor with a lot of money looked at his work and said, I'll fund you to continue on this problem. He worked on it, and rest is history. He died as the wealthiest person in the UK. He had patents to protect his innovation. There was a lot of litigation to copy his, but he survived. It changed the world. Right? So there are many such examples. 5 countries, there's no 6th country. China learned that. China learned that they cannot just go by copying and producing it, even though they were producing it for the world. In 90s, they tried to enter US with their copied market. They were thrown out of it because they didn't have an IP. That's when China realized they had a master plan that by 2020 they'll be the most innovative country in the world with largest filers of patents. They achieved that in 2016. Forget about quality and all that. I'm saying what's needed, right? In China, you have whole spectrum. There are some companies who are doing great, some companies, do not comment, but that's needed, right? So it's a whole spectrum. But we are on the right track. I think you have great faculty here, which is doing amazing work, and I think if you continue doing that and take it to the next level, I'm sure things will happen across the world.
And one more thing, you asked him, sir, what do you expect from us? He already told. He's here so that you people get inspired, motivated, of doing something new, which makes him proud. I came to a place, I said something to the students, few of them grasped it and they have done something. And that is what is your idea lab is all about. You have to create something of your own. If not alone, a group of 3 students. And we have never asked for any money from you people. Whatever you have spent, we are ready to give. Whatever you spoil, we are ready to do. But the main and the second important thing is that the wise people are here. So definitely there is an interaction session between the faculty and the Qualcomm people. Yes, not from here what we can do in the next level. You have to simply go through whatever your faculty say. और अगर कुछ इनोवेट नहीं कर सकते हो तो कम से कम बात मान लो. ऐसा बात मानने से ही काम हो जाएगा. So they are here basically to inspire you to do something of it. बाकी ठीक है, चीजें बहुत as sir said कि क्वालिटी अभी पेटेंट की उतनी बड़ी नहीं है, लेकिन ठीक है क्वालिटी बढ़ रही है, क्वांटिटी तो बढ़ रही है, और ऐसे ही एक दिन स्लो होते होते लीक हो जाता है और अपने को पता ही नहीं चलता. So be on that mark. That is what is his expectation. And moreover, we are also going to ask them what new courses, what are the latest technology on we should work. That's all we will be telling you from Monday onwards. We will be having a session. Okay? Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much again. And with that, I would now invite all our guests to join us for the lunch and networking session being hosted at the mini auditorium of the old building. Let's continue these conversations, build meaningful collections, and celebrate the spirit of collaboration. On behalf of SSIPMT Raipur, thank you everyone who's present here for being a part of Exposition 2025. Thank you. Until we meet again, keep building, keep believing, and most importantly, keep innovating. Thank you so much. Yeah. Please go ahead, sir. Please go ahead.
Sir, my name is Deep Pashish. I am Dean of KIMN here. I am from IT Delhi and ISC Bangalore, and I spent 20 years in IT industry. My question is, what about democratizing the knowledge of AI? Because, the state of the art is in hands of some wealthy corporations. And when I read their research papers are published based on their reputation, not because of the content of the paper. So there's a lot of things which is hidden. So if I ask me what is state of the art, I know state of the art of 6 years back. What is happening after that? It is not explicitly written in the papers. And so what is the view about democratizing the knowledge of AI?
Well, great question. I'm not sure if I can give you something direct here, but like what I can tell you what I see, particularly from a US perspective, that's happening. The focus has all been so far on get the best engine out there. right? So there was actually, you probably have seen a lot of literature on this, but there was a debate as to whether you need more specific models for specific industries, like a medical model, like a model for like industrial design, versus a large language model that has generally been trained, right? So a lot of the people were kind of leaning towards like basically a ChatGPT 4.0 with general training actually beats specialized models. Why? Because it has such a big corpus of training that it's able to pick up all the knowledge that is there in specialized models, right? So that's kind of where the industry has been headed, like big GPUs, cloud computing, lot of power, large language models, right? But slowly, I think Qualcomm is one of them, but like also other companies like AMD and many other companies are thinking about ARM and all that, and thinking about like how do we democratize in terms of bringing the use cases closer to where the people are. You have like big large language models out there in the cloud, controlled by, like you said, 4 companies, 5 companies, right? Not entirely true. I mean, China has gotten like a lot of success in the DeepSeek and a few other models which are performing very well. But leave that aside. How do you democratize? I think you bring it towards the people, like inference. Where is the real money, right? I think ultimately, if somebody is buying a product based on AI because they like the inference, right? If you are like, you are a consumer, you are paying money because your AI inference is giving you like a better value, right? That process, I think, will help democratize. I mean, it's not exactly what you are asking, but I think, when you talk about inference at the device, at the edge, at the premises, things like that, then you get more control. Then you get like more startups involved, like more smaller companies involved, because you can use like smaller GPUs and NPUs, right? And kind of like customize it to your own liking. So I think, like maybe in a few years we will see like more switch towards inference, mainly because they have to make money from it somehow. Right? The promise of AI is like so far has been like at a very high level, like you can learn and AI can pass the bar exam in the US. So what is the use to me? Like, okay, if I want to use AI for some particular purpose, like and I like it, then I will pay for it. Right? So that's I think the way to like democratize. So
Thank you so much. Thank you so much again. I would like to remind, as Ram sir said, they are up since 3:30 a.m. in the morning and they have been here. They have been kind enough to grace this occasion. I think so we should let them go and have their lunch first. All the conversations and everything will continue in the networking sessions. I'll request all our faculty members to please escort the esteemed guests and dignitaries to the lunch area, please. Thank you.